Hey, a playa, being single sucks sometimes, especially when you're someone that's constantly getting rejected, and yet everyone else around you seems to approach dating and relationships with such ease. So what can you do to avoid being angry, bitter, and resentful because you're still single? I'm gonna walk you through that practice right now.
This is the Just Beats, you're watching the Just Beat.
For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. So if you want to learn and grow, hit the subscribe button and make sure to click on the notification bell. Now keep in mind, the ideas that I want to share don't reflect all single people or even most single people. In fact, it really only reflects a small contingent of people. People that are hurt and angry, that feel the world is turning against them and just won't allow them to find someone to date. So point number one is this: not every single person is going to find a partner. It's a pretty bleak thing to start out with, but let's walk through what that really means. Growing up, we're taught this traditional idea that as you get older, you're gonna eventually find that perfect person who completes you. And that's not really the case. A lot of people tend to break up from their relationships, break up from their marriages and their partnerships because they get along with someone, and as they change or as that person changes, they see they're no longer compatible. And for some people, they may feel like they're never gonna find a partner at all. Maybe they think they're too short, they're too ugly, they're not rich enough to actually find someone that would care about them and wanna be in a relationship with them. So if there's a chance that you're never gonna find that romantic partner, why even bother? Well, I think it's still important to focus on the other relationships in your life, because those other relationships will help bring you meaning and value. Look, humans are social creatures. We need to interact with others, and we also need to feel understood. So what I would highly recommend is, if you can't find that romantic partner or you've just given up on dating altogether, focus on connecting better with your friends, with your family, with your coworkers or classmates, with your pets, with people in your neighborhood, with people that you have a chance to actually build stronger bonds with. And you might be thinking, but that's still not fair though. I want to be able to kiss someone. I want to be able to have sex with someone. Am I not owed that at least? And that kind of leads to the second point here, which is that no one is owed sex, a relationship, or attention from anyone else. I had a conversation with someone from the incel community recently who was saying that sex is a human need. People need to have sex, and if they don't, it's not fair to them. Well, it's important to also remember that sex is a two-person act, meaning the person you want to engage with doesn't owe it to you. It's something that they decide to participate in with you. So sex is really more of a desire than a need. And that's not to downplay the power of that desire, but a lot of guys tend to approach having sex with someone in a very prideful way. They think that if you're a nice guy, if you do everything right, if you check off all the boxes, then yeah, that person's just gonna open up and give it to you. But that's not really how it works. Yes, there's a large contingent of people that don't really think too deeply about who they choose to have sex with or who they choose to even enter a relationship with, but I think if you're working towards being your best self, if you're working towards finding a partner, someone you can open up to, someone you can trust, someone you can care for, then that person needs to feel that same way about you. And it doesn't automatically guarantee that they'll want to be with you or even want to have sex with you. It just means that those are some of the basic criteria for healthy, long-term, sustainable relationships. Now, what tends to happen if you're someone that is constantly getting rejected is that you're probably making one of the most common mistakes, and that is point number 3. Most people don't really change their attraction techniques. In fact, what most people tend to do is stick to the bad techniques that they know don't work simply because those are the ones that feel the most comfortable for them. For example, if you're someone that's been friend-zoned before, were you friend-zoned by just one person, one time, and then you learned from it and changed? Or have you been friend-zoned by multiple people? Now, if it's been multiple people, then you can see that there's a pattern of behavior there. There's a lack of change, a lack of growth, a lack of different styles you're trying with each and every new girl. And I get it, it's not easy to reflect on our own character. Sometimes when we become self-critical, we just fall down that spiral of feeling like we're not good enough, we're bad, we're worthless. So you need to have a strong sense of character if you really want to review your techniques, review your approach, and see where you can make changes. But man, it's hard to actually look at yourself in comparison to all these other people who seem to just get it. They know how to do this, they know how to get into relationships, and it's something you struggle with. This also leads to point number 4, which is that being jealous is going to cause you to be a follower and not a leader of other people around you. Some people are just born with those natural good looks or that natural ability to just start talking to someone and have people just fall in love with them. But for people like you and me, we need to work on them. We need to practice, we need to make mistakes, we need to kind of revise and improvise and try out different things. But being jealous of someone else isn't going to cause you to discover how you can be your best self. In fact, what you're going to start doing is just mimicking other people, trying to be them, and then you're going to lose that authenticity along the way. And that authenticity, I would argue, is one of the most important characteristics in finding an actual partner. Don't get me wrong, you could be super inauthentic and still get into a relationship. Lots of people do it, but the reason why authenticity is so important is that as you spend more time getting to know someone, as you share more about yourself and you learn more about them, you both start to be more vulnerable around each other. You know those deep, dark secrets about the other person. And if you're someone that is inauthentic, you're never really going to be able to open up fully. You're always going to be seeking validation, always going to be comparing yourself to someone else and feeling like you're not good enough. But I want to tell you right now that you are good enough. Think about it, you're the only one of you that exists in this world. You bring your thoughts, your experiences, and your feelings to the table. It doesn't matter how good looking someone is, doesn't matter how rich and popular they are, they're not you, and all you have is you, so work on it. I'm curious though, what do you think? What has been your experience with dating? What are some things that you've tried to improve and work on that you feel have worked for you or haven't worked for you? Leave your comments down below and we'll talk about it. I want to give a huge shout out to all my patrons and YouTube channel members. These are the people that help the channel grow. So if you want to become a patron and you want to chat with me one-on-one every single month to talk about what's going on in your life, check out the link down below. Also, what I want you to do is check out the video over there on the side. We're going to dive deeper into this topic of being single, how to deal with those feelings, and how to change your luck around so that you can find someone to start dating. On that note, guys, I'll catch you next time. As always, love and peace.